In 1961, MAMIYA, the camera company, went into a big deal with Sears. MAMIYA agreed to relabel their Ruby 35 camera as the Tower 18B. I cannot recommend this camera. Let's find out why. Hello everyone, Carmine from New York here. This is photo class number 489, coming to you from lovely Midtown Manhattan, New York City, USA. Comment below if you have ever used a rangefinder camera, a film camera made by MAMIYA or made by Sears. Well, sold by Sears. They didn't make anything, really. Okay, so this camera. This camera came out in 1961. It was sold in the Sears catalogs and in the Sears stores for a few years. It sold for $1,400 in today's money, or in 1961, $134, brand new in the box. So this camera, while it's all metal, no batteries, fully mechanical, it did have a selenium light meter on the front, which moved this needle and you would adjust it and get your exposure. So, as you know, selenium turns light energy into electrical energy, and that's what moves the meter. Okay. Now, I took a roll of Arista 100 ISO DX film out, and I did some shooting. You'll see the photographs throughout this video. So, let's get into a few things. First of all, the lens. Okay, I have no problem with the actual 6-element f2 48mm MAMIYA lens. The lens was fine. It was nice and sharp. So here's where the trouble begins. So this camera sells for about $27 on eBay. There's a lot of them out there. So, all right. The problem with this camera is, number one, I did not use the light meter that's in this camera because it's from 1961. The selenium fades away, gives you inaccurate reading. So I did use my favorite TT Artisan Roman numeral 2 light meter, not a sponsor. I bought the meter. So I knew that my light meter readings were good, and I just transferred them to the aperture ring and the shutter ring and took the pictures. After I developed the film in Rodinal, I looked at the negatives and I go, oh, these negatives are grossly overexposed. This was the first roll I shot through this camera. I had to edit these photographs quite heavily, which I do not like to do. If I did not edit them heavily, you would just see very bright photographs then. So now they made many, many thousands of these cameras. And did I just get a bad copy? I don't know. How many owners did my camera have? I don't know. But my experience is that with no physical damages, this does not look like it was dropped. No water damage. There's no fungus. There's no haze. It doesn't look like it was overly used. No scratches or dents. So I have to, as a photographer since 1973, I can tell you that's probably, just by looking at one copy, yes, many of you statisticians will not agree, but based on my professional opinion, I can give you this. I would not buy this again. The issues were inaccurate shutter speeds. Now, on an old camera, yes, anything below 1/15th of a second, you have to assume is not going to work. Even B sometimes does not work. But you have to assume that 1/500th of a second, 1/250th of a second, if it sounds right, it should be right. Well, it was not. I shot these, it was a very bright day, and I shot them mostly at 1/250th of a second at f8. And I see now how overexposed they were, that 1/250th of a second was probably 1/125th or even 1/60th of a second, and it probably swung back and forth in that area. The second thing that was wrong with this camera is that it's very hard to tell, but I opened the back of the camera where you can look at the aperture blades, right? And as I open and close them, one blade remained in that position, while the other ones opened and closed correctly. One blade stayed still. So that would be the reverse, right? That would make you think that the pictures should be underexposed if one blade stays in the closed position. But a combination of a bad blade and bad shutter speeds has led me to tell you the Tower 18B or MAMIYA Ruby 35 is a no sale. Do not buy it. So let's do this. Let's look at all of the photographs I took with this camera and Arista 100 DX film, heavily edited just to get something out of it. I was not going to waste money on the film and my chemicals and my time without trying to edit something that resembled art. All right, guys, comment below, subscribe. Let's watch the photographs right now.